Good morning, friends, and welcome to After GMS. We are live right here on the WFMY News 2 Facebook page. We do this every day at 7:45, give or take a couple minutes on the WFMY page. And we thank you, especially all of our regulars, for joining us here today. Already see Saray is on, Bobby's on, Tamrika's on, Alicia. Good morning to you. So we have a lot to cover here, plenty of fun conversations for you to be part of. But first, this beautiful forecast. I mean, it is just gorgeous, Turan, for today, and then the weekend a little more seasonable.
Yeah, not the same. You know, we're gonna go back to typical temperatures for this time of the year. So, you know, we've really been spoiled for the past week and a half, 2 weeks with temperatures well above average for this time of the year. Today's the last day that I think we're going to see the mid-70s for a little bit. And we'll start off with a lot of sunshine this morning, and then the cloud cover will start to build even more through the day. And I think that we could see a chance of a couple of showers this afternoon on into this evening. The rain's not going to be widespread, but there will be a few showers out there. So, you know, you might want to just have an umbrella kind of close at hand after, let's say, 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. I think that's when our chances of rain will start to go up. A cold front moves through this afternoon. That's the reason for those few showers. Behind that, it gets chilly for the weekend. High temperatures are going to really struggle to make it out of the upper 50s, maybe low 60s. If you do see some sunshine in your neck of the woods over the weekend, count yourself lucky because most of us are going to see nothing but a whole bunch of cloud cover, maybe just a couple of peaks of sunshine here or there. Small chance of a few spotty showers through the weekend. And then I think our next good chance of widespread rainfall or big rainfall, so to speak, would probably be Monday night on into the day on Tuesday. For now, we have that rain chance on Tuesday, only around 60%, but stay tuned for changes. If that does change, it probably will go in the upward direction, closer to 70 to 80% in the coming days. So we will keep you updated on that. That's a quick look at your 7-day forecast.
Yeah, Alicia said it has been beautiful. Hate to see it go with that emoji that has the sobbing face on it. Hey, but we will embrace the nice weather today while it lasts, however long. And it makes sense given this rather warm streak of weather we've had lately. Today is National Plant a Flower Day. So each year this day is dedicated to getting outside and planting flowers. It's also about looking forward to spring in general and all the beautiful colors that come along with it. So in the pandemic, interestingly, gardening has become a hobby many people have taken up. So we asked you on our social media pages how you'll be honoring the day and what your spring plans include. You can weigh in here on this feed. We'll be sharing your comments coming up. We want to share one that we received earlier on the Good Morning Show. A viewer shared with us that her husband passed away, and we're so sorry to hear that. She said she is planting a beautiful weeping cherry tree in his honor. So I love planting geraniums every spring, although I mentioned earlier, Turan, last year I planted them a little too early and we were having to cover them because we got some late in the season frosts well into April. What would you recommend for planting? It seems like today might not be the best day despite this national holiday.
The only way that I would plant something, some type of sensitive plant, would be if I'm putting it just in a flower pot inside my house today. Your parents had really good advice waiting until after Mother's Day. I know you were talking about that earlier. That's really the best course of action. The longer that you wait, the less of a chance that we'll have a late freeze. I think the latest that we've had a freeze here has been into early May, I believe. Wow. The average ends somewhere time in April usually. So I wouldn't do it today. I wouldn't do it for the next month or so, but as we get middle to the end of April, but especially as you get to the middle of May, that's when you're really in a safe territory at that point.
So it sounds like it might make sense overall to wait. It looks like Joanne agrees. She said too early to plant. She usually waits until last of April, if not Mother's Day. She said she loves hanging baskets and she has several of those. Yeah, those are always really pretty. And we heard from our Brian, who loves to plant roses. My favorite flower is a rose. Heather said no planting, but might go to Lowe's or Home Depot and see if they have mums still or any pretty flowers. so she can put some on her front doorstep. It might be a little late in the season for mums, but you might be able to find some still. Yeah. Nadine's just happy to have mowed her yard yesterday.
Yeah,
the weather cooperated for that.
Yeah, the frost isn't going to hurt that. I will let you know, because mine is starting to come out of a dormancy now, and I'm already thinking, man, it's almost that time I have to get out there and cut the grass in the heat. So the different types of annual weeds are already starting to grow up, and they're loving the stretch of warm weather we've had. But I'm still going to hold off with cutting my grass as long as I can.
Yeah, I posted a picture earlier just with me and my son on my Facebook page, and I didn't realize until I took a closer look at it how terrible our yard looks. I mean, it is bright green, and then there are these ugly patches of nothing in our yard. So something's going on with it. We need to have that looked at, but hopefully nicer weather consistently this spring will take care of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's that time of the year. Folks are making the run to the home improvement store, getting the stuff ready for the yard, and I feel like I'm a couple weeks behind myself, so maybe this weekend, probably not. I don't know.
It is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you can keep weighing in on this. We'll have another conversation coming up about daylight saving time. I can hear the groans already, especially from the parents in the group. Let's get to our morning headlines first before we get to that. CVS will start administering COVID-19 vaccines. Appointments will be available tomorrow, with vaccinations starting as early as Sunday. You can register online or at the number on your screen. Walk-ins are not allowed. CVS will vaccinate current eligible groups 1, 2, and 3. At last check, the Denton and Wake Forest CVS locations, which are the closest here in the Triad, are fully booked up. More North Carolinians in Group 4 will soon be eligible to get their COVID vaccines about a week before schedule. On Thursday, the news conference and the task force briefing, Governor Roy Cooper announced people with high-risk medical conditions, people experiencing homelessness, and people who are incarcerated can start signing up for vaccines on March 17th. Other essential workers in Group 4 will be vaccinated starting April 7th. Schools across our state are now required to have an in-person learning option. Thursday, Governor Cooper signed the in-person learning bill after a lot of back and forth with state lawmakers. K through 5 will operate in Plan A. All other grades can function in Plan A or B. Many schools in our area, as you know, already have in-person options in place. Rockingham County School Superintendent might have a chance to continue serving in his community. Today was supposed to be his last day, but remember back in December, the board voted to terminate his contract. Well, next week, a judge will determine if that decision was legal.
Well, 4th Street is closing to traffic and opening up for a unique dining experience Saturday. Fun fact, this area was once called Restaurant Row, and I can see why. There are businesses all along 4th Street, and tomorrow 16 restaurants on this block will move their business onto the streets. Downtown Winston-Salem Partnership came up with the idea for the Streetery last year. It's back and better this year with bars in the mix this go around. 4th Street from Liberty to Spruce Street downtown will close to vehicle traffic. Mystic Ginger, an Indian restaurant on 4th Street, plans to join the fun. They took part in the first Streetery event last summer.
And I was working with my full menu, which was a really bad idea. So this year what I'm thinking to short my menu. So I'll just create a new menu just for those days. And I'm going to follow that, and probably learning from last year, I'm going to do better this year.
The Streetery kicks off Saturday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and masks must be worn. And for those located in Greensboro, don't worry. Downtown Greensboro Incorporated says that they are going to start up open streets again on March 20th. So if you like to eat, you'll have plenty of options to do so safely in the Triad. And of course, we'll have information on both open streets and the Streetery on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
Yeah, the days being longer should help with that initiative. People being able to dine outside a little later with some daylight. It is daylight saving time yet again this Sunday, meaning you'll want to set your clocks forward an hour before you go to bed Saturday night. For a lot of people, this is exciting. We gain an hour of sunlight every day. Others think of it as losing an hour of sleep and disrupting the kids' routines. The rest might not care or would want it to stay the same year-round. So we want to know what you think about this weekend's time change. You can leave a comment here on the News 2 feed. Jessica says she's excited, loves it when she has more daylight, even though she has to get the kids up at 5:30 a.m. She's overall excited. Heather loves the extra sunlight, she says. Don't like losing the hour of sleep, though. Joe loves it, longer days with sunshine. And let's see, Nadine's talking about our other conversation. Let's see. As far as me, what I think about this, I've gone back and forth over the years, and my perception has changed since I became a mother. And sleep, establishing that routine is so precious. And once you do establish that routine, you don't want to do anything to throw it off. We know that changing the time twice a year is very disruptive, especially to children, because it takes a while for their bodies to adjust. So I would like to just stay on this current time all year round, because naturally with the Earth's rotation, it is already getting lighter a little later in the evenings. I've noticed that on our evening walks, we come back around 6 and it's still light outside as we're getting supper on the table. So for me, I would prefer just to keep it normal time year round, although it is nice, especially in summer as the weekend festivals get ramped up, you know, to have that extra hour of daylight. So I can see it both ways. I just think, Taran, it needs to be consistent.
Yeah, definitely going back and forth can make things a little bit trickier for sure. I'm kind of the same way. Just pick one and I will adjust. And I think that it's better to inconvenience the adults for us to try to, you know, change our whatever we have planned late in the day, as opposed to the kids that have to, you know, kind of go back and forth in the mornings with the time change. And obviously we don't want to have it where the sun doesn't come up until 8 in the morning, you know, because the kids are already going to be in school and having kids at the bus stop and it's really dark outside, not safe and things like that. That's the only issue that I can see where, you know, there's a reasonable argument for, you know, picking one over the other. Otherwise, as adults, who cares if the sun goes down, you know, an hour earlier by the way that we count time? You know, 7:30 at night, 8:30 at night, doesn't really matter. If you're a grown-up, you can you can make adjustments. You want to cook outside when it's dark, you can. You want to still go to the movies when it's dark, you can. You know, things like that. So we'll see, but I'm you know, some people are really passionate about it one way or the other. I'm indifferent right now.
Yeah. You know, it was also hard for those of us who work odd hours.
Yeah.
We know, you know, we work early in the mornings. A lot of people work third shift, you know, so that is hard as well. It's difficult to fall asleep or tell your body it's time to go to bed when the sunshine is still streaming in your window at 8 p.m. So those are all factors at play and probably a reason to get some blackout curtains.
Yeah, it can definitely be tough to go to sleep when the sun's just so bright in the early evening.
We have a few more comments. Yeah. We have a few more comments coming in here. Tanya said, love more daylight to go walking after work, do outside activities later. And then we heard from Joe, who made a point that says all cell phones automatically switch now. So you're right. It's just those manual clocks you have to move forward, and like your microwave, your oven, all that stuff, your clock in your car, which might not switch automatically. And then you think, oh, I'm either really late or really early to work.
As a child, we may have missed the beginning of church before. When we forgot that the time had changed. We're like, oh, it's not 11 a.m., it's noon. So
I know.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it used to make me really nervous anchoring the Sunday weekend show, because you know, the show, it either starts without you or it starts with you, and you're trying to get ready because you overslept your alarm because you didn't set your clock forward before you went to bed. So that was always something that made me really nervous. Yeah,
that's always a scary thing. It's almost like you want to have an analog clock just in case as a backup. What if my phone doesn't switch the hours? Or do I wake up an hour early or whatever? I've been there.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for weighing in on our conversations today. This was really fun as usual. Taran, why don't you get us out the door with a final look at our forecast?
All right, let's take a look at it today. Warm and breezy, highs in the mid-70s. The cloud cover will increase through the day as a cold front moves on in. Not a whole lot of rain with this front, but it may squeeze out a couple of showers this afternoon, overnight tonight. and then much cooler behind it for the weekend, highs in the 50s and low 60s at best. That's the way it looks right now, and more clouds than sun for sure. If you do end up seeing a decent amount of sunshine this weekend, that's going to be a rare occasion, at least for as far as the Piedmont is concerned, so you'll be one of the lucky ones. Small chance of a spotty shower here or there this weekend, and then I think we'll see a better chance of more widespread rain probably Monday night on into Tuesday. That's the time frame I'm looking at right now. We'll of course keep you updated. That's the last look at your 7-day forecast.
Ooh, that 48 on Monday looks rough.
Yeah, it might end up being a little cooler than that. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Take the good with the bad in these forecasts, especially in this kind of transitional time from winter into spring. All right, get out there and get to it. We hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend ahead. We'll see you next week.